So, they do, it seems like they arrive about from 6 months to a year after arrival. So that bought them a few, maybe like half a year, before the Reapers actually got there. And that was Plan C. But yeah, they're determined. They're like, we gotta get there, no matter what. Even if we have to walk, we gotta get there. So they end up getting here, and they're probably gonna get here like really pissed. Like when your car breaks down, and then you have to end up walking, and you get to the place, and you had to walk like who knows how many miles, and you get there, you're just so fed up and hot and tired, and you're just like, I'm gonna kill the first thing that I see. That's how the Reapers are probably gonna arrive. I wouldn't want to mess with them at that point. I'd be like, if you ask yourself, how do the Reapers even know when to, like, say with the Citadel, when the Citadel was working to their plan, how did they even know when to come? And the way that they know, because all the Reapers are in dark space. Dark space is what's in between galaxies. So it's like a gap of nothing. There's no stars, nothing there. That's why it's called dark space. So it's the gap between galaxies. So it's right outside the galaxy. So that's where the Reapers wait. And the way that they know when to come back is because they leave what they call a vanguard behind. And that was Sovereign. Sovereign was their vanguard. They leave a Reaper behind in the galaxy to keep an eye on things. So Sovereign was in the galaxy, just floating there, semi in hibernation, because that's what the Reapers do in dark space. They just hibernate and save energy. So Sovereign was in semi hibernation. So he would hibernate, and then he'd come back and check the situation, and then hibernate again, and like that. And I was always like, damn, didn't anybody ever see Sovereign? And they did. They did come into contact with Sovereign, a research team, a Batarian scientist. His name was Edon Haddad? No. Edon Haddad. I don't know how to say his damn name. Haddad. Some freaking Batarian. And his survey team discovered Sovereign just floating above the Perseus Veil over a star system. And this whole deal actually ties into the book, the first novel, the first Mass Effect novel, Revelation. And in that one, they talk about Saren's in that one. And in that one, they talk about this doctor called Dr. Shu Qian. And he worked with, if you heard of her, Callie. I've talked to her about her a few times. Callie Saunders. He was investigating Reaper technology and the actual Sovereign, this Batarian scientist, the other one, not Shu Qian, the other guy. He actually thought Sovereign was probably a Prothean relic. But while his team was studying Sovereign, they actually got indoctrinated because they were there for a long time. And so did Shu Qian. So that's what Revelation is mostly about, the information that they got from the Reapers, or about the Reapers. And Saren wanted this information. So that's why Saren went after it, and he was like, I think this is the ultimate weapon that I need in order to become, for the Turians to be the ultimate race in the galaxy, to finally, shut those humans up. But then it turns out that Saren was also indoctrinated, and then starts Mass Effect 1. So I've said this in previous Mass Effect talks. If you haven't heard some of the quotes that Harbinger says in Mass Effect 2, please go hear them. They have this one person put up all of the Harbinger quotes, and they're really interesting. They really make you understand what the Reapers want, like why they want the humans and not the other races. Harbinger really says he picks out all the races, and he talks about all of them, and he basically says why he doesn't want certain races. He says like the Quarians. He says something like that they're a possibility because of their technology. The Turians are too primitive. So scratch the Praetorians. The Krogans, there's too few. Their genetics aren't good, you know, because of the genophage. Solarians don't live long enough. He goes into all of them, and the best option for them is the humans. And they're like, the humans have impressive genetics. They're the most malleable. And he says they're a little too emotional or something like that. And he says, but that could be tweaked. But yeah, that's why they want the humans. It really makes you understand what the Reapers are after. So another thing that is really interesting to me is the Derelict Reaper, or the Dead Reaper in Mass Effect 2. And I don't like calling it the Dead Reaper, because in reality it really isn't completely dead. It's more like out of action. I guess it's almost like it's wounded. And the crazy thing, it kind of shows how powerful Reapers are, is that this Derelict Reaper has been in this state for 37 million years. It was actually not shot down, but shot by something very powerful, some kind of laser, and almost completely destroyed. It made a lot of holes in it, and it made it malfunction. Like, it was basically considered dead because it can't do anything. But it still has a Mass Effect field around it, which is preventing it from falling into the planet that is under the Reaper, and that planet is Neomocene, I think it was pronounced. Neomocene? This is in Mass Effect 2, and Cerberus had found out about this Derelict Reaper a while back, and the Elusive Man had sent a team to go investigate it. And they thought, well, it's dead, so it's okay. But it actually still, that's why I said it's not completely dead, because it still indoctrinated the scientists that were there. So it still has some power. So then the Elusive Man tells Shepard, go check it out. I think you could find the IFF, the Reaper IFF there, so that you could go through the Omega-4 relay. So it's kind of like the Reaper's VIP card to get through the Omega-4 relay without getting destroyed. So that's why you go to the Derelict Reaper in Mass Effect 2 to get that IFF. And you find, that's where you first see, and the only time you ever see the inside of a Reaper, which is pretty cool. And if you look at the structure of the Reaper, it looks like Reapers. It doesn't look different. And the reason why that's important is because if it looked different, then that would prove that Reaper, the Derelict Reaper, was actually another form of a Reaper. Like, you know what I mean? Because every time it harvests, it takes the form of whatever it harvested. So since it looks like the Reapers, it's just like upside down, I believe. But if you look closely, it has the form of the current Reaper. That means that the Reapers haven't reproduced for over 37 million years. That's a long freaking time. Since they hibernate in dark space to save energy, that means that for that much time, how many Reapers have not gone, like, how many Reapers must have, like, run out of energy? What if a bunch of Reapers just, like, died or ran out of energy? So I think, like I said, I think the Reapers are kind of dwindling. Even though there are a lot, they're probably very low in number compared to what they used to be, because they haven't reproduced for over 37 million years. So even before the Protheans. And what I think is really cool is who was the species that destroyed this Reaper. Could it have been the creatures of light, or what are the beings of light that is mentioned in Mass Effect 1 that were made to destroy the Reapers? Probably not, because they really didn't destroy the Reapers. But I don't know. That's what I find fascinating, is who shot that shot. Who took this Reaper down? So when Shepard goes into this Reaper, this is where he finds Legion, and there's a bunch of husks on board, and these husks are the Cerberus team that got indoctrinated. That's who they are. That's how they got there. And so the Reaper's basically still, it's not completely out of action. It's still kind of alive. Because not only could it still indoctrinate, but it also its kinetic barriers turn on once Shepard gets on. So that means that it's still kind of like, it's still kind of conscious a little bit, incapacitated, I guess you could say. And a lot of people have asked this that really don't understand that indoctrination that well, is why didn't Shepard's team get indoctrinated when they went on the Reaper? And it's because they weren't there very long. They were only there for a little bit. For them to get indoctrinated, they had to be there for weeks, maybe even months. And that's how the Cerberus team got indoctrinated. You have to be there. You have to be in contact with something that indoctrinates, some kind of Reaper technology, for a while in order to get indoctrinated. So that's why they didn't, because they were only there for, what, a few hours or something like that? They get the IFF, the Reaper IFF, with the help of Legion, and they take Legion off board because he was a husk took him out, basically, and you take Legion with you. But yeah, the Derelict Reaper is very, very interesting to me, because it actually says a lot. It says a lot about Reaper history and the Reaper, and how the Reapers are probably pretty desperate to reproduce, because they haven't, like I said, for like 37 million years. So Shepard basically finally does completely kill this Reaper with the help of Legion, by destroying the core. That's how you could, that's the only way that you were able to deactivate the ship's kinetic barrier so that you could get out of the Reaper. You had to destroy the core. And the Mass Effect field that was holding the Reaper up so that it wouldn't go get sucked into the atmosphere of Neomosine. It once the core was destroyed, it fell in and got destroyed by the atmosphere of the planet. So that was the final end of that Reaper. I really like how it's mentioned, or how it's explained, that the Cerberus researchers called this Derelict Reaper. They said it was like a dead god that still dreamed. So it wasn't completely dead. Another thing that Sovereign says in Mass Effect 1 is, he says, we are each a nation. And you could interpret that different ways. You could say, well, they're talking about themselves. They unite, and that's how they destroy, by them together, the Reapers. Or you could also see it as they are literally a nation. Like, they are created by nations. So let's just say that the human Reaper, they are the humans. So the nation, the humans, because they were taking the form of the human. So you could also interpret it that way, that the Sovereign is basically saying literally what they are. They're a nation of whatever species they harvested. You can't really take what Sovereign says as like actual fact, because they're so like almost conceited about their power, that they really do see themselves as gods. They're just like, you guys think that you could destroy us, but you can't. And we're here to like keep order. We're here to destroy you guys, and then civilization could continue. Evolution, and the next species, it's their turn, and you guys are getting wiped out. And it's just like, what? And it's like, who the hell put you guys in that position? And that's where you ask yourself, who made the Reapers? Where the hell did they come from? Like I said, Sovereign says, we just are. We were just there. And it's like, you guys are machines. Someone had to make you. And I think, I don't know if the form of the Reaper has always been the form that it has, because this was 37 million years ago. Like I said, from the Derelict Reaper. Is that the only form that the Reapers have ever had? Or was there another form? Or have the Reapers been around for even longer? For even millions more? I don't, that's the thing that you just will never know. Maybe Mass Effect 3 won't even explain that either. I think they should. I think BioWare will explain where the Reapers came from. I think that will be explained. But as to how many forms the Reapers have gone through, I don't know. But I do think that someone made the Reapers, because they're not organic. And organic life, you could see it coming, you could see it evolving because of bacteria and who knows what, and it turns into something. And you're just like, okay, well, that bacteria was there and it evolved. But a machine? A machine can't just go, you know, technology is made. Someone had to make it. And I don't think we won't know until Mass Effect 3. And I've tried to think about it, and I don't think that has even been, like, clued. I don't think there's even clues in Mass Effect as to who made the Reapers. So that is just something that is so hard to even speculate about, because I don't think any of it has even been mentioned. I've been thinking maybe the beings of light, like I said, were the ones that made the Reapers, and the Reapers kind of turned on them, kind of like the Geth did with the Quarians. But I don't know. I really don't know. And I really don't think we're going to find out until Mass Effect 3. Because this is like one of the hardest things to speculate. Who made the Reapers? Have no idea. But I don't believe Sovereign. I don't believe that they were just there. That they just, oh, what's up, dudes? They didn't just appear.